Thanks very much. Thank you. So far, so good. I'd like to continue now with one fierce, dodgy number, ladies and gentlemen, which is a song that I wrote about some whales. And look at that, lad. They all know it. And it was in the summer of 2002, around this time of the year, 4 years ago, that these three of them, there was three whales, swam into Cork Harbour, up the River Lee, splashed around outside there, over the river wall, causing fierce excitement and a huge splash. And at the time, I met an old woman in the supermarket in Passage West, and she said to me, "John," she said, "you have to write a song about the whales. Who else is going to do it?" And I said, "I will." And that's what caused all the trouble, ladies and gentlemen. So I said, "I will." And as soon as those words escaped my lips, ladies and gentlemen, I was then, of course, bound by a solemn oath and injunction to write the number. And I spent a long time working on this song, trying to make it into a brilliant song, like a beautiful song, like all the other beautiful songs you heard here tonight, and poetry and all that, like. But I kind of failed with this one, and it's a dodgy kind of a number called Orca, Killer Whale. Well, I woke up this morning, and you won't believe what I did see. 3 whales outside my window, swimming in the River Lee. Orca! They were killer whales. 3 whales swam up our river, up through Passage West. Well, you never saw such excitement. Nobody had ever seen or heard of such a thing before. People came from far and near to see the whales. They came on aeroplanes from Finland, in helicopters from England, from the radio and the TV. Well, I met an old woman in the supermarket. She said, "John, you have to write a song about the whales. Who else is gonna do it?" I went, Orca, killer whales. Well, I met a busker up in Paul Street. He said, "John, I think they come with a message from the deep. Clean up the sea." I said, "I don't know, Matty. Maybe they only come up for the salmon and the mullet. I'm not sure." But it's true that they spent a long time outside the city hall, speaking to the city fathers in a language no one could understand. 3 boys come out of Charlie's, 1 o'clock in the morning, out of their heads on ease. Well, they thought, ladies and gentlemen, that they took one too many when they see the 3 whales splashing around outside in the Lee. Orca, killer whales. Well, the word went out that night on the human mammal mobile phone. The human mammal gathered from far and near that night down on Union Quay for the greatest party of all time that was ever held in Cork. Burning on through the night. There was drink, there was drugs, there was music, there was love, there was whales. Orca, killer whales. Well, they swam up as far as the School of Music. Everyone was getting fierce worried about the whales. The crowd from the university came on the radio. They said, "We have to turn the situation around. We have to save the whales." But they swam all the way up to the School of Music. They came a long way, especially to hear the human children playing the violin. Orca, killer whales. Well, you never saw such excitement. The town was full of stories. The city was full of talk. Old fellas were going around saying, when I was a young fella, you could walk across the River Lee on the backs of the mullet. No, the Irish, we don't eat the mullet. We think that they eat the shit off the bottom. I bet you they're grand. I bet you there's nothing wrong with those fish. The French, for example, love them. So does the orca. Orca. The killer whale. Well, they hung around for about a week and a half, lashing into the salmon and the mullet, splashing around in the River Lee, coming and going as they pleased underneath the bridges of Cork, like they owned the place. Then the word came through on the radio. There was another 30 orca killer whales down by the mouth of the harbour, down by Roach's Point. What's going on? There was a pod of whales down by Roach's Point. That was the word. That week in Cork, you had to have the word. Everybody was going around saying, pod. Then the news came through on the radio that Mama Orca died. She was washed up by Paul Durham. Well, the sky was completely blue. The sea was completely blue. The day that Mama Orca passed away. There was a girl crying on the radio. It's hard for you to imagine here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the Spiegel tent down the Coal Quay, all these years later, like how upset the people got that time in Cork. These three whales, they were after swimming into the people's hearts. There was a girl crying on the radio. Well, the other two whales, they turned around. They were after learning all her songs. They swam away back down the harbour, back down to Roach's Point. They met the other 30 orcas waiting for them below by the point. How did they know they were there, like? They met the other 30 orcas waiting for them below by Roach's Point. Sorry about your mother. Then they all turned around and they swam away back out to sea, and they were never seen again. What was that all about, like? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the summer of the whales. It was only the summer before, the summer before, the summer before last summer. But now it's just a vague memory with us. The strange people of Cork, we have the memory of a goldfish. But I met an old woman in the supermarket. She said, John, you have to write a song about the whales. Who else is gonna do it? Only for her, there'd be no song. I went, orca, orca. Killer whale. Thanks very much. Cheers, lads. Thanks very much. Come on,